Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to day 3 of our YouTube challenge. Well, today's topic is what was I like at school and where did that education take me? Well, my journey into the school was a little bit rocky, to be honest, and it didn't really get a whole lot better through my 15 years of education. The main reason is when we had returned from Australia, unfortunately I got hit by a car and I was in hospital for a long time. So my very first years was a little bit, learning to walk again, things like that. And so I was sort of 1 year behind when I was in my first schooling. So anyway, as I went through school, I didn't really enjoy it because that I was suffering from something that wasn't really recognized at that time. Growing up in the 70s, it wasn't really a recognized problem to be dyslexic. And that was something that I was dealing with. I found it difficult to read and write, but the trouble is, because it wasn't a recognized problem, people can be quite cruel, especially children. You get called all sorts of names and bullied through school, that sort of thing. So for me, my journey through school, I didn't really like it. And as I became a teenager, I sort of became a little bit rebellious, could find all different types of excuses to not concentrate in the classroom. But what I did find was that my biggest passions was, if you put me in a craft design and technology classroom, you couldn't remove me. And I was always much faster than the other students. I could come up where I had a very, very strong creative side, including building model aircraft and helicopters from scratch, and they would all fly. So for me, when growing up through school, that education didn't really teach me so much. But of course, it is very important, because the brain is a muscle, and it does need to be exercised, and that's why they do repetition style learning or teaching in schools. So for me, when I left school, I actually became a model maker because I was so good with my hands. And but even then, it was a very specialized business, so it was not always so easy to get the right work, the right contracts. So I ended up in the printing industry. So yet again, it was a business where I could use my hands, use my creative side, which was art-based businesses. And so that education sort of gave me the grades and set me up to become a printer for the rest of my life. But luckily, I only did that career for 18 years. I did enjoy most of it, but including running my own printing company in London. But so of course with dyslexia, it doesn't mean that you're a dum dum, as they used to call me when I was at school. But because it doesn't do a whole lot of good for your self-esteem when you come out into the real world if you've been sort of bullied and knocked back. So a lot of people, if they're in this situation, you tend to spend most of your adult life trying to repair the damage that was done before. So I always think that you should always continue schooling, whatever age you are, but pick the education so it's going to take you to where you want to be. All right, guys, see you on day 4.